Can I make that an intro? That would be hilarious. Let's get ready to party, baby. Bringing it. Bring it.
Hey, everybody, can you hear me on this mic again? I just kept it plugged in because you liked it yesterday. Lacey, I'm really sorry to hear that. Today's been a tough day. My ex got remarried and I'm babysitting my grandpup for the night. Well, it sounds like you won. I'm going to be honest. I would love to watch a dog for the night that wasn't mine. Just kidding. But he is acting a little bit up because of his naked haircut that he got yesterday. No, seriously, though, Lacey, I love you and I'm sorry to hear that, babe. That's tough. That's hard. Trying to imagine it. I'm trying to imagine like Jeff getting married today. I don't think I would feel anything, but I can understand that you would because you're a human being and I'm an ex-Scientologist and I don't really feel as much as others I find. That still didn't come out well. What I'm trying to say is, Lacey, I love you and I'm sorry. Yikes. I have problems. Hey, Pat Jonas. Hey, Kathy Burkhart, Robin Miners. Hey, Mods. Mods, thank you for what you do. What are you doing over there? Why don't you sit up here, girl? Why don't you come up here? Well, wowee, girl. Hey, Catherine J. Hey, Lady O, Pillow Sham. Hazy came back again. Hazy, thank you for being here. I don't know if you're new, but I don't recognize your name. Ooh, cool picture. I don't recognize your name unless you changed your name. Some people do that, and you're like, oh, I used to be so and so. And I'm like, oh. But if you're brand new, welcome in. Karen Tootie Greeny made it. Barbara Waits here. Cheap Chick. Hey, babe. Hey, Debbie Gonzalez. DS Kitty. Hey, speaking of DS Kitty and P. Taylor, whoever sent these from the wish list, I got them today. You are a lifesaver. I actually needed these. He eats one of these a day, and there's 10 to a bag. So whoever did this, thank you. You did not include your name. There was no slip or anything for me to thank you privately. So whoever did this, these are on the. It sounds like someone's in my driveway, but it's somebody playing really, really loud music in their car, and I think it's just super loud. Anyway, thank you to whoever did this. And if you speak out, I will thank you here as well. But I mean it, guys. The wish list just has dog bones and cat treats. And if you want to send some, I appreciate it so much. He eats one of those every day. Hey, D. West Coast. Hey, babe. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Renee B. Just as I am. Hey, Patty. Ewa. Meredith Lynn. Amy Knight. Aspire to Inspire. Teacher Mama Life. No, I did not go to Southern Goods today because I have been tagging clothes all day. For like a solid 8 hours, I've been tagging all of my fall winter stuff. So I've got a huge pile up in my living room that I went through, and that takes a long time to do. So I'm going to haul it all in tomorrow when they open, Robin. Thank you for asking. Hey, MLG Gamer. That's a good point. You didn't have kids with Jeff. That's a great point, Pat Jonas, and I appreciate you saying that. That is true. Now, I had children. I had a child with Michael, and I still don't know that I would feel much about that other than I wish the best for him and I hope that he is happy. Like, I want him to be happy. But I don't feel sorrow or sadness for anything there. Like, for me, I just feel differently. They're exes for a reason, but that shouldn't discount or be. I'm not trying to be insensitive to Lacey because I love Lacey Silver and I wouldn't want to be insensitive to anybody. Hey, Kim Leaf, Armine. Thanks, Armine. Hey, Donna Koopa, Liz Tricks. Yeah, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings, Lacey. Hey, Buffy, original grandma. Thanks for all you do. Glad I finally made a life. Thank you for reaching out to me, and I'm glad we were able to chat. I really enjoy you. Thank you for being here. Your email was incredibly kind. Thank you for that super chat. Hey, Lumen. Yeah, I've been there, Lacey, and it does suck. I don't know why. I just don't feel it. Again, I actually kind of want to talk about this a little bit today. I think it's my lack of feelings sometimes, I think. Hey, Miriam, Nancy, Jane. Oh, you've just been on the replay crew, Hazy. Okay, well, thank you for that. And thank you to all people on the replay. Hey, Rip Curl, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Puka Vista. Shawnee Delight, I know you. Thank you for being here. I love that you're here. Hey, Squirrel Girl. Hey, Heather Huckleberry. Jeannie Aunt Nini Hobbs. Reese inspired me yesterday to clean and my living room, organize it. An office been sweating all day. It looks like an explosion happened. That's my problem is I did that yesterday and I was sweating like hardcore. I was like, why? Am I old? What's going on? I think I'm just really overweight. Cindy Edge. Hey, you weren't here yesterday, but I wanted to say thank you to you and Kestrel. Cindy Edge is a veterinary technician. And I had to go to the vet yesterday, Cindy, and it was a sad sight. And it just made me really depressed. And I thought of you and I was like, I appreciate her. Thank you for your service, for what you do. And I mean that. And welcome in. Hey, Holly. Hope you're feeling better. Hey, Anita Card. Need to know what those frames are. I've had these for a long time. And you know what's weird? It's every time I wear them, somebody likes them. Tommy really likes these. I'm not a huge fan. These are Tom Ford 5511. You can look those up. You can Google it. I think I got these on eBay. They are fun, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. I love tortoise, and I don't know why I don't wear it. I just wear those black frames all the time. Hey, Diana. Oh, you had kids together. Well, Lacey, that Pat's right. That makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Massive difference. Hey, we also just every relationship's different and how they end. Let's be honest, right? Like my relationship ended with Michael. It was already over when it ended, and I was the one to call it, and go, "We're done. This is done. This has reached its expiration date. I love you. I love you like a best friend, but we're not in love." So, and then Jeff and I, of course, we all know how that ended. So I think it's also why do I feel like I have a cat hair somewhere that's like a ghost hair? So it makes total sense to me, Lacey, that it might be different for each person, right? Like how it ended, right? Is you see what I'm saying? Leslie Mosley, it's nice to see you. Hey, thank you, Nancy. Hey, Sylvia. That was probably Yorkie Mom yesterday, Heather Huckleberry. She gifted 10 memberships. You were taught to cut off emotions before they took hold, so it's no surprise the emotions are a bit slow to show. Pat Jonas is such a cheerleader for me, and she's so deep with her words. And I just want to say thank you, Pat. I feel like you understand me very well. And I appreciate very deeply people who understand me and take the time to, because I often think how much I would hate me in real life. It's not like, please don't feel sorry for me for saying that. It's just, I really am pretty like, I work almost, I think, in absolutes. I'm very black and white. I'm like, I'm kind of cold. I feel disconnected from feelings in a lot of ways. And so, Pat, you always kind of make me feel better and normalize things because of where I came from. And I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes I think about my relationship with Tommy and I'm like, I try to find reasons why it's not good. I'm like, and they're always because of me. I never think up stuff like, well, he does this and he does that. It's me. I'm like, I shouldn't be with anybody. I should not be. I don't deserve to be in love with someone because if you really, really, really knew me hard and deep enough to be in a relationship with me, I think you'd be like, F this. I don't feel much. Like it's hard. It's hard for me. It's weird. I've been noticing it more and more lately. And I notice my son is kind of similar. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. I notice it. We had a deep, long talk last night. Huxley and I talked for 2 hours last night. And I was like, I want to get into that actually. Hey, Marie Marion, let me catch up. Oh, I give you huge thanks, Cindy Edge. And I mean that. What you do is a tough, tough job. Leslie Mosley, you were a vet receptionist. I wish you'd come take over at the place I go to because the lady's super mean. Hey, Karen Dahl. Miriam doesn't show a lot of emotions externally either. I think some of us cancer people have so strong emotions, it's safer to process them internally. What a beautiful observation. That helps right there. That's another thing that helps. It's true. It could be true. Thank you for putting it like that. Alana, I think it depends on the breakup. Agreed. I had some feelings when my ex-husband got remarried, but I'm happy for my kid's dad and his girlfriend, genuinely happy. I love that. And here's the thing. If they do get remarried and you do have kids with them, my biggest fear would be like, what if she's mean to my children? Like if she's a wonderful person and your kids like her, that's a blessing. That's like the best thing that could happen. That's how I look at that. Like, as long as they're nice to my child or my children, right? Like, that's what I would care about. If she's friendly and cool, I would be super. That would be like winning the lottery. Thank you, Alana, and thank you for the super chat. Hey, Susie with an S. My glasses make me look like I'm wearing fake disguise eyebrows. Well, how do you know I'm not? Because people get mad at me because my eyebrows are too blonde. Maybe they are. Maybe it's an optical illusion. Hey, Lisa. Oops, I'm really behind. Okay, I got to catch up. Hey, Linda. Yee. Ms. Weedy Poo. Carolyn Peters. Hey, Debbie Zito. You don't ever drive me nuts. No. And I would tell you if you did. Because I feel close to you to do that. Hey, Heather again. You do deserve to be with someone you are still young enough to learn, Reese. That's such a nice thing to say. Thank you, Heather. Hey, Stanley. Good for you, D. That's gotta be, you gotta be hot doing that. You love strong and deep, but the surface stuff you brush off. Ooh, that's true too. She knows me well. Hey, Crafty Carrie, I agree with this. Could be Sylvia. Hey, King's Kid. The school year has started great for Huxley, Barbara Waite. Thank you for asking. He's really enjoying it, actually. Hey, DNV, he loves his teachers, which is a good start. Hey, Kim is blue. I'm feeling good about it. Hey, Chewini Love, Gigi. Raven, welcome in. You're usually on the replay crew. Thank you for being here. Hey, Julie, Gemini girl. Carolyn Peters, you sent him the bones. That was so nice of you. Thank you so much, Carolyn Peters. Guys, I mean it. I mean, he's going to get them either way. Like, I don't rely on you guys to supply dog bones, but it's helpful because he mows through one a day. And so I'm not asking, but so many people have said, make a wish list for dog bones. And I think there's just certain animal lovers out there that don't want to give a super chat and don't want to give YouTube 30%. I get that. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody who does that. Thank you, Carolyn Peters. Is your purple necklace from Theodosia? Purple necklace. No, this is from Kansas City. These are both rubies. I am a ruby girl because that's my birthstone. So if you're talking about these are from Sierra Winter in Kansas City. These are a gift from Tommy, and it's one of my favorite jewelry spots, and they're in Houston, Texas. They're having a sale right now for Labor Day. These are their tube ruby necklace, and it's it's J, like the letter J dot, and then it's Landa, Landa. So you can type in like jlandajewelry.com or Google it. But I really love this necklace. I love it so much because it's unusual because it's tubes in a tube-like shape. And, I love gemstone necklaces. So I'm really into that lately. And of course, Tommy got me that ruby ring. And so ruby stack, I should say. And I'm really into it. So thank you for noticing. Hey, Chrissy Twig. Now I'm probably really behind. Wendy Walker, welcome in. Lilac Lime is here. Wendy, thank you for being a member. You became a member. Dang, girl. That's so nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very supportive. Yadira posted the Amazon wish list for his bones. Thank you, Yadira. Yeah, that's it. Rubies, your birthstone too. I love that, DS Kitty. I was just looking, what do you use to store my jewelry, Chewini Love? I bought these boxes on Amazon. It depends. I have a lot of different ways. I've got a giant mirror that you open that holds, it's like velvet inside and it holds them. But I also, hey, Alicia Johnson, Pajama Pixie. That's who you are. I love you, babe. Speaking of Texas, I bought these just cheap. They're like, not drawers. They are big, huge velvet, like they have little individual squares and it's got a big lid and you just close it. And I think they were $15 a piece and I bought 2 of them on Amazon. So lately I've been throwing like necklaces and stuff like that so they don't get tangled. That's pretty much it. I'm not real weird about storing jewelry. The only thing, I love it, Chewini Love. The only thing about jewelry is I used to store my jewelry in my bathroom and I don't do that anymore because the moisture from like the humidity from showers and stuff, you don't want to get it wet. Hey, Yawn. So, Pajama Pixie, thank you for being here. Alicia, love you, girl. Um, so something I wanted to talk about today, actually, I have a specific topic. I do. That doesn't happen very often. Um, I want to talk about something that's very touchy for some people. I actually want to feel this out. I'm not familiar too much with the subject. Hey, Rhonda McNeil, and I don't want to upset anyone. This is not to set anybody off. I'm kind of here to learn about this. I kind of want you to teach me a little bit about it today, but I want to talk about what I know about it. Ooh, Dana Clark, I would like that. How do you put your sterling? Do you put your sterling in plastic bags? I do not. I keep it all out in the open with everything else in its little individual thing. But I do buy those polishing cloths on Amazon for like $6 a piece, and I just polish my sterling silver every once in a while. I don't wear a lot of silver, so I don't really have that problem. But yeah, I just polish it. Okay, so here's the topic, and I don't want anyone to get upset about this because I truly want to know more about it. And I have a question. This is going to sound stupid. I want to use a word, and I don't know if it's properly being used because I'm not entirely sure that I have the definition correct. But it seems like this topic has a stigma attached to it. Now, that's the word, stigma. I'm not entirely sure if I use that properly, but to me, the definition in my own words of stigma means like the black sheep, like you stick out in society, like it's frowned upon, like it's a poo-poo thing. Is that correct? I probably got it wrong. I was trying to sound cool, but I don't want to say it and use it and people are like, "What? I don't think you know what that word means." And I wouldn't do that anyway. If I don't know what something means, I'm not I'm not proud. I'm not trying to say I know what it means when I don't. Okay, Amy Knight says that's correct. Nice. Okay, I said it right then. Thank you, Amy. Seems like there's a stigma then about this topic. And I would like to discuss it because I discussed it with Huxley last night. Also, yeah, Chewini Love. So also I saw a post that Lindsay put up today, and it was this morning, and I texted her right after she put it up, and I said, Lindsay, great post and heartbreaking post. Very, very, very sad post. But I liked the way she worded it. So what my topic here today is mental illness. That's it. And as an ex-Scientologist, how much do you think I know about mental illness? None, right? Like, um, dang, Sylvia, did it really? If you want to, you can email me and I will give it to you, but it shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. But thank you for trying anyway. Mental illness. And I would like to discuss this topic for many reasons, but let me just first say, to me, like I not again well versed at this topic. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know about it. And I'm not going to speak to it like I know about it. I want to have an open discussion about it. Okay. But I feel like there's a stigma around mental illness. And I find myself wondering why. Why, of all things, would there be like it's almost like I feel like it's like not something we should talk about, or it's like, oh God, they're mentally ill. Like it's weird because here's my thing, and I'm gonna don't let's just start this conversation without you guys getting mad at me. I am a brand newborn when it comes to mental illness, so please don't be like angry about what I'm about to say because I'm walking into this fire and I don't know a lot. But to me, mental illness, I feel like is a blanket over all of us. Now, you've got a scale, right? So like where it's like mild, the most mild up to the most intense. But I really don't feel like any of us, especially probably more, I'm guessing, well, I could be wrong. I was wondering if it was more of an American thing. But am I incorrect in saying mental illness is nothing to be, one, ashamed of, but two, I feel like we are all dipping our toe into the mental illness pool. Like, I am not ashamed to say, but first of all, what is mental illness? Like, to me, and again, this is not, I could be totally wrong. You're talking to an ex Scientologist here. Okay. So go lightly. But mental illness to me could range anywhere from like depression, right? Like being depressed, mildly depressed, situational depression, all the way to schizophrenia, um, uh, all of those diagnoses, right? Like, I think all of those things fall under the umbrella, if I'm not wrong, of mental illness, right? Thank you, Tiffany Murphy. So I don't feel like anyone should go, oh, you have mental illness. Like, so do you. It's kind of like how I feel about it. Like, so do you. I'm not a doctor here, but my God, right? Like, please. Like, it's just seems ridiculous to me to like be like, that person's mentally ill, that person's mentally, that one's not. No, that's not how I see it. Now, again, this is one person out of 8 billion giving their opinion on something they really don't know much about. Thank you, Nancy. But I certainly don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. And so I had this long talk with Huxley last night. I'm not going to go into every detail of it, right? He's a child and I want to respect his privacy, of course, right? We're in therapy. But hey, Helen Baker, but we were talking about his father, and I've spoken a lot about Michael here. I haven't gone into every detail because, again, those things are private, but I've spoken about my experiences with him. Correct. Kim is blue. And Huxley has his own thoughts on his dad, and there's some resentment, right? There's some built up resentment with his dad, of course, at this point, because he's going to be here any minute. And I thought he was because Bo's shifting around, but he's not. Because of, they don't have much of a relationship at this point, and his father has some serious mental illness from being so broken by his being raised in Scientology. Okay, totally understandable. But I was talking to Huxley about it last night and trying to explain, and because he was, again, resentful and a little bit insensitive to it, I would say. And I said, well, he has mental illness, right? Like, we don't hold that against him. But I can understand as a 16-year-old boy why you would feel like he doesn't care about me or whatever it is, right? I can see both sides of the coin, of course. I can absolutely understand. But yeah, Lumen, he feels betrayed for good reason. So it's not like Huxley's in the wrong. But what I tried to say to him was, your father suffers from mental illness. So while it's not like a get out of jail free card, it's very much, hey, Dawn, you have to understand that your dad has a heart of gold, like a lot of people with mental illness, but it gets in the way. It's not a choice, right? Like, it's something that he struggles with and has no control over, especially if you don't get control over it, meaning like you don't go get diagnosed, or you're not medicated, or you're not in therapy, right? Like, if that wildfire is just running wild, it's controlling him. He's not controlling it. And that's how I see a lot of things in people. Like, is it controlling you or are you controlling it? It's a choice, right? Like, you can choose to go get checked. And, someone said the other day, but, therapy or psychiatry is so expensive in this country. And a bunch of people gave up, like, you can go, there's a lot of routes like that you can take that is like you can pay based on your income based. So I understand it's not like at our fingertips, but at the same time, if it's bad enough, you got to go to your local, your PCP, your primary care physician, right? Like, somebody to get some help. Now, that's not necessarily what I'm here to say. What I'm here to say is I was trying to get my child to see that I understand that you're upset with him and you have every right and reason to be. But you also have to understand that he is stunted, very stunted, right? And was harmed and abused from day one of his life. So when you raise that child and he's now an adult in the world, what do you expect him to be like? Do you expect him to be a good father? Like I was trying to get him to see that, right? And hey Jenny, can't sleep, but at least I caught alive. Well, thank you for being here and thank you for the super chat. Beautiful picture, girl. Thank you. And yeah, that's true. Not if you don't realize you have one. I guess it depends on the mild to extreme scale, right? If it is mild, you may not realize you have one. If it's extreme and you don't realize you have one, then your family or somebody should be helping you to get checked out. But I don't want to speak to that too much because I'm not a doctor and I don't know. I don't know solutions to everything. But what I'm trying to say is, and then I said to Huxley, I said, I'm not a doctor, son, but I said, you need to give more grace here too, because that can be hereditary. It's something to look out for. And he goes, what does hereditary mean? So I explained what that meant to him. And I said, again, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Like, even if 5-10 years down the road from now, you find yourself becoming depressed or feeling darkness or any of that, or you develop a tic or you develop some sort of a diagnosis of a mental illness, like, we will deal with it and it's okay. It's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with you. I was really trying to like hit that, like it's perfectly fine. And I had a conversation today with my mom on the phone, and this is an example of like old school. So my mom is old school. She's also an ex-Scientologist, and mental illness, I think, is a big stigma in her eyes. And I think in, hey, Blue Girl Me, and a lot of older generation, not all, but older generation probably, I feel like, are of that like suck it up buttercup kind of a mentality. I don't believe in that. I mean, that's just not how I am. I think we should get you some help. Like, you shouldn't have to suffer. Nobody should have to just deal with it, kind of a thing. Oh, I love that, Jenny D. I want to go to Greece so bad. It's on my list. Oh my God, Marlugo. Okay, well, it was at least nice of you to pop in. I'm glad I got to see you, Mar. I hope you're in the Zoom call. It's freezing in here. Wow. So I'm basically on the surface having a conversation with my mom without going into deep detail about what Huxley told me, because that's private. And it wasn't anything heavy. I just don't want to repeat his words. There's no reason to. But I explained to her what I just said. And I said how he could easily develop mental illness as well. Now, I have been told this by his therapist and my therapist. So it's not like I'm just coming up with this out of nowhere. I've been told this. It can be hereditary. And Bo just laid down in Gertie's bed and it's like this big. That's sad. His arm and like his head and everything is falling off of it. It really rocked my mom when I told her that. Like, literally rocked her. She was like, what? You told him he could develop mental illness? She was like, you told him that? I was like, I don't have conversations with my son the way you had conversations with me. And that's perfectly okay. But like, I have very open, hey, Aloha Sue, I have very open conversations with Huxley, and I always have, like, normalizing terms. I've said this a lot, but like, age appropriate discussions about sex, body parts, like, and calling them by their real names, their technical terms and things like that. Like, I want him to feel like, hey, Tammy, next Sunday, I want him to feel like all of these conversations are completely okay to have. Not anything you should be squirming about, not anything like, for instance, okay, Mar, that's okay, babe. I understand. I don't basically, so let's just go back to what I just said. Yeah. Miranda. Yeah. So I said this to my mom, right? About that. And what is my mom's reaction? What? You told him he could have mental illness? That's very different than how I talk to my child, right? Like that reaction right there is what is that? What does that cause? What is that reaction? It causes like a, did I do something wrong? Am I in trouble? Right? I do not want to cause that reaction in my teenage son. I want the opposite. I want confidence. I want him to feel confident in talking about these things and have no emotional attachment to it. Like, ooh, this is wrong. Oh, this is cringe. Oh, we shouldn't be talking about this, right? I want nothing but self assurance and confidence for him to be like, yes, mental illness, of course. Sure, we can talk about that. Yes, sex. Yeah, we can talk about that. And he does. He has no problem having those discussions with me, and he never has because I never attached an emotion to it like that. Right? Like, Huxley could never come to me and I would go, "What?" Like, I would not. What's your problem? He sees this bag of bones and he's like, "What's that doing there?" Um, Carolyn Peters sent those to you, and you can have one in the morning with your morning routine. See, there's Carolyn Peters now. Bojangles. Oh, he's so friendly. And he says, I look like a girl. No, you don't. I wish someone talked to me about depression when I was 16. I suffered for years, and I'm so sorry, Carolyn. That's awful. And I really like this too. It's like talking about diabetes. Yes. It's like talking, I know, Mar. They're not cheap, and he gets one a day and I have to ration that shit. It's like talking about diabetes. I agree with this. It's Amy Knight. Okay, now he's home. Hey, Susan. It's it's your brother. So the point is, I don't ever want, including my son, including anybody I know, including all of you watching. Hey, Skeeter, I don't want people like what is, I'm doing a temperature check here with you guys. What are your thoughts on the subject of mental illness? Do you all go, ooh, that's not appropriate to talk about. That's not for public. That's that should be talked about with a doctor. That's like, I don't have any buttons. That's a Scientology term, but I don't have any issues with talking about my pap smear. You know this, my vagina, getting mammograms, sex, all of those things are, I have no feeling, I have nothing whatsoever about, no charge, no buttons on it, no uh, built up, weird feeling. I can talk about anything, and I want to talk about those things. Why should we not talk about those things? Because you were raised to not talk about those things? Now, I'm not talking about these things to push boundaries. I'm not like trying to make you uncomfortable. But by all means, hey, Brand's mom, this stuff I think needs to be discussed. And I think it should be talked about with our kids. Of all people, I think it should be talked about with kids, right? They're raging with hormones and emotions and pressure at school and trying to be cool and friendships and peer pressure and right. So I absolutely believe all of these things especially should be talked about with youth, with our youth, that it's okay. Like, I must have said, at least in those 2 hours last night of Huxley's talking to me, because he was really opening up to me, I literally acknowledged everything, every worry he had a lot of worries and concerns and school and college, and every single time he gave me a sentence, I was like, that's perfectly okay. You are not alone. A lot of people are going through exactly what you're going through. I was trying to make him feel less isolated because I could tell he felt like all the weight of the world was on his shoulders. And I was like, no, it's your brother. Hey. Yeah. Why don't you show us your baby? Come here. Don't you think Michael's mental illness comes from how he was raised, though? Probably. Anita, I'm sure it does. But the thing is like, he could be what's the word I'm looking for? Not prone. Predisposed. I'm just saying, I've spoken to my therapist and his therapist about it, and it's just something I have been told like not to worry about, but it could happen, right? He could be predisposed to some perhaps depression, right? And let's face it, he has his own traumas. He has his own set of traumas from his upbringing in Scientology, right? Thank you, Tammy. I wonder if Michael's would be connected to Hereditary, since it was more of a traumatic upbringing. I exactly susceptible. Thank you. Yeah, drive-in fan. Hey, Beans Mama, Brandy Blass. Thank you, Kim. So no, Anita, you could and Holly, both of you could be totally right, but I still want to be prepared and having this conversation, not just once, regularly, like, um, yeah, Laura Lou, better to be conscious of potential issues. That's it. I'm not alarmed. I'm not, I mean, when am I alarmed? I'm not really that type of person anyway. Thank you, Donna Cooper. But I definitely think it's a discussion that should be discussed now and again and again and again as people go through stages of life. I feel like I'm lucky to be in my 40s. I feel pretty chill, right? Like, the more experience and after each decade we gain more experience and we're kind of calm and we're like, yeah, what have I've seen it before, right? But he's getting ready to start life, and so he's going to hit a lot of bumps, and he's going to have a lot of new worries, and he's going to have to figure out bills and money and, right, like college, and he's going to do what we all do, which is like leave the nest and think of all the shit he's going to be like, oh my god, I've never experienced that before, and the rest of us are like, yeah, that's normal. Right? That's kind of my life now. If you think about it, coming out of a cult, hey, Linda Perales, Kathy Brown, coming out of the cult I came out of, there's so many new experiences where I'm like, and you guys are all going, yeah, we did that in our 20s. Welcome. Right? So it's the same thing. You guys kind of prepared me. Probably Helen. You guys kind of prepared me, but and there were some things I already knew, but I definitely don't want him to walk into his future scared and like isolated, feeling like all the feelings he's feeling are not normal, right? And so I just was like, all of this, everything, and I didn't want to deliver that message in a way like, how it's kind of condescending, how some people do it. They're like, yeah, everybody goes through that, that's normal. Like, yeah, yeah, you're not the only one. Like, I kind of hate that too when people do that to you, where they're like, yeah, everybody, like, yeah, everyone experience. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of, what does it do? It like lessens it. It kind of downplays how the emotions they're feeling. So I wanted him to know, like, your emotions matter and they're big emotions, right? Like, it's fair. It's totally valid and it's normal, but just know that, like, you can always talk about this stuff. And yeah, me too, Marlugo. Yeah, dismissive. It's dismissive when people are like, yeah, here's okay, I can't fucking stand it if I talk about something as a mom and other moms who have been through momming more than me, right? Like older moms. Hey, baby lily pad. They'll be like, oh, yeah, all normal. That's all normal. You're going to, yeah, everybody goes through that. You're going to experience that. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, that's normal. Oh, we went through that. Oh, yeah, I went through that for years. No, it's fine. You're normal. That's normal. Like, it's so dismissive. It's like, you're not really hearing me. You're obviously not the person to listen to at this conversation. What I want is to be a little bit more like seen and heard. Like, oh, yeah. Yeah, that is tough. I remember going through that too. Well, I mean, so here's what we did. Like something like that would be a little bit more, but there's some people out there that are like, all normal. Everything you just said. Yep. Yep. It's kind of like, hey, Kestrel, it's kind of like my pregnancy when I was pregnant. It's the same thing. Hundreds of women over that 9 months would come up to me in public and be like, have you gone through this yet? Oh, you're going to wait till you feel this. Wait till you do this. It's like, it's almost like you're one-upping me, like you're better than me, or like you're telling my future for me. It's weird, and I don't like that. It's one thing to be walk through it with me and understand what I'm going through, but it's a whole other thing to be like, yeah, all that's normal. Okay, you're gonna experience that. It's normal. It's like, okay, thanks for listening. So I didn't want to deliver that message. Like I didn't care what he was saying. Like again, dismissive of like, oh, that's normal, son. It's everybody goes through it. I didn't want him to feel that way. But I also wanted to deliver it like you are not alone. Like this is not, and I'll be honest, part of that conversation, hey, ghostwriter, I had to kind of feel my way through without actually knowing that that's normal because I really wasn't a teenager. I was working full time on staff at the Church of Scientology, sleeping with a 26-year-old man. Right. So it was a little different for me. It's not like I could be like, hey, champ, I went through that with my friends in 11th grade too, and my teachers. Well, I didn't. Right. And I didn't have friends my age. So part of that's a tough discussion to have with your 16-year-old son and your mom who didn't didn't go through that. Um, Alana says my eldest is ADHD, anxiety, depression. She started with a psychologist at 8 and is way better at 12. I love that. There is schizophrenia on her dad's side, and so any early help I can get my kids, I will. See that's so. Hey Kiki, that's so being ahead of the game on it, and also just it's okay. Like no one should have just read what Alana wrote and gone, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." Why? Actually, I'm really impressed that this was all caught and diagnosed, right? Like and didn't yeah, it was Linda extremely proactive, quite the contrary. Like it's impressive and she's got the proper care and she's got the proper guidance and she's got the proper treatment and that's where it's at. I love that. And I hope I know Alana, like I know her pretty well. She's a very strong woman. She reminds me of Mar Lugo, very strong, good mother, good head on her shoulders. I doubt for a second that Alana felt any shame attached to that. But it makes me wonder if there are mothers and fathers out there whose kids were diagnosed at a young age and they're like, we don't talk about that. You know, we don't talk about her diagnosis. Why? What is there to not it should be talked about because you know what that does? That take you're helping other people by going, "Oh, you went through that too?" You put people at ease unless it's the wrong judgmental asshole group of people. But the right people, hey Willow Tree, you're putting at ease, hey Paula J, by you might be helping someone. You probably are. By typing this in like this, Alana, you're probably helping someone. You know, I really hate the idea of some mother or father out there being ashamed of their child's diagnosis or their diagnosis. It's completely it's a whole new world. And that's huge coming from me. Take it from me. Someone who was taught that literally mental anything, mental illness, psychiatry, psychology, mental health in general is the devil. It's a lie. It's bullshit. Autism doesn't exist. There's no such thing as Scientology told me every day of my life. There's no such thing as a chemical imbalance. That's a lie. Psychiatrists made that up to, hey, monk, to trap people, cage people, drug people, PDH. It's called PDH in Scientology. Pain, drug, and hypnotize people. It's all just it's a big scam and mental. I mean, I was told my entire life mental illness isn't real. None of that's real. Yeah. Ask that to Lisa McPherson. Yeah. Who actually had a mental breakdown and Scientology tried to fix her with their cuckoo mind powers and she died. And that's just one person, right? Um Alana, this is a beautiful thing and thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, that's very very impressive to me and thank you for sharing it and thank you for the super chat again. Um she says no shame. When my kids call me and tell me about my kids struggling, I take it in stride and get them help. This past year my 8-year-old needed psychology to deal with overwhelming emotions. And that is exactly what we should be doing if we are parents. That's the role that we have to be willing to take on. And I have to say, I never give myself a pat on the back. I never give myself credit for stuff. I'm going to do it right now because to come out of Scientology and be cool with it and understand that, like, I just can't seem to make you guys get it, but like, medicating someone is the most evil thing LRH says you can do on planet Earth. Medicating, especially a child, we are so deeply shamed for it that, like, it is the worst, most evil, most like lowest thing you can do is put a kid on medication for a being mentally unwell. The chemical imbalance is all a lie, and a woman, a man, an adult being on medication is like the most disgusting thing. So if I came into Scientology and I'm brand new and I've never done it, and I walk in and I'm like, I'm on I take Zoloft or Prozac or whatever, Scientologists would judge you so hard and be like, ugh, disgusting, get her out of here. Most people can't even do services. You are disqualified to do services in Scientology if you've taken that stuff. A lot of it, they judge you so hard for it. And so, me being a little over 3 years out, I'm really impressed with myself that I'm not, because I had that state of mind before when I was a Scientologist. I always had that state of mind. Like, why do we hate gay people? Can someone explain? Like, I didn't get that memo. Why do we hate people who have mental illness? Why do we hate people who have to take medications? Like, why do we shame the shit out of people who are depressed? I never understood it. I went along with it, but I never could, what never set with me. It just was something I was forced to believe. And so I guess shouldn't give myself a pat on the back because this really isn't anything new. But I do because I believe in it. I've been in therapy for 3 years now. Hey, Haggis. And I strongly believe in a monk. That's a great comment. Sounds like the fear of the misunderstood. Um, I strongly believe in getting any. I mean, I cannot tell you how much therapy has saved my life. So, um, Nancy, I am a huge advocate for it. Now, am I on medication? No, but I'm not against it. And I have so many people I've talked to and friends that I've made at this point that have said, like, Prozac saved my life, or, whatever that they had to get balanced and medicated saved them. So I got nothing against it. I'm completely supportive of it, and they will hate me the most for that. Usa's watching right now. They will hate me the most for that. That just made me the devil to promote that. Thank you, Alana. Um, Marlugo, I have to put together a 10-minute presentation for this new program, and mine is on mental health and nurses. Ooh, I'd like to hear more about that. That's interesting. See, that's something I would be very curious to know about. I'm very interested in that. Thank you, Marlugo, for telling us that. You're gonna kill that, girl. Thank you for your super chat. Lumen, you never super chat me. You're breaking the cycle of trauma and mental health issues by talking about this to Hux. Tough stuff, but we break the stigma by talking about it. Thank you, Lumen. That is so nice coming from you. Thank you, babe. I love Lumen. Thank you. She's full of tons of wisdom. And thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. Reese, I was told to put my son on ADHD meds. I fought it, and I'm happy I did it because he was too young, and now he's thriving in school, just therapy and group sessions. There you go. And here's the thing too. Just because you were told to do that and did what Mar did, she fought it. She knows her son better. You have to remember that. We all know our kids. I'm sorry. I know doctors go to school and I know they're highly educated and they know their shit. But this woman is also a highly educated nurse, and she's a mother. She knows her kids. So I also have to side with her there that, like, it doesn't make you a bad mom to fight it. And now he's doing well with therapy and group therapy. Like, he's still getting help and the help he needed, but she knew him well enough to know this is what I think. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I don't want to see any shaming there either. That's bullshit to me too. Yeah, D. Exactly. There you go, Alana. Thank you, Nancy. It's your brother. Bo. Show us your baby. Hey, Irish Mart. Hey, just want a bird. Hey, you stole that. That's Armine's. Armine sent us that. That's not your baby. You just pulled that off a shelf. Hey, Hux. Okay. Well, Armine, here's the good news. Sigrid, Bo does not destroy stuffed animals. Look, he carries them around, but he doesn't hurt them at all. Okay. That was supposed to be my pancreas, but I guess you can hold on to it for now. Don't worry, Armine, I'll get it back from him. But he does not destroy his babies. He's got like 4 baskets around the house of all of his babies, and he does not hurt them in any way. Hey, Archie's mom, it's good to see you. Hey, Tracy. The Panky, Yadira. So I appreciate you having this conversation with me. Thank you, Irish Mart. He's naked. He got shaved yesterday. You have to advocate for yourself and your family members as far as healthcare goes. It's a cookie cutter business now. Barbara Waite, bingo. Yes. And you know what's best when it comes to your kids. I mean, at least try, what's best, what you think first. And then maybe you work with a doctor on something. But I mean, I'm with Mar on that big time. And Alana. Armenia, I knew you wouldn't be upset. Yeah, he never hurts his babies. He is Puka Vista. He's a Nike. He's a good person. You're a great guy. He's a friendly fella. He's a smiley. He's a smiley. He's a good boy. He's a good person. I know that you see the bag of BONES. We know. Nancy, you guys, speaking of Bo, I got to show you this. I'm going to put this short up probably tomorrow. I recorded 2 different really cute ones today. He is the sweetest. He is the sweetest dog. Look at him today with Seamus. Don't mind the Birkenstock. Look at him. Look at how cute that is. They do that all the time. And I don't think Bo loves it, but well, thanks, Yadira. He doesn't seem to mind it. Look at the side eye. Look at Seamus sleeping under him. Look at that side eye. He's like, you whacked off my hair. How cute is that? Seamus is always like cuddling up into him. It's like spooning him. Moose does too. And Bo just takes it every day. He's just a gentle giant. I know. Irish Mart, they're so cute. I have a million pictures like that. He is, Nance. Oh, haggis. I get it. Lacey Silver is also dog sitting. Sigrid, you could too. He's so much bigger though than he looks. He's all legs. He's so tall. I think LRH spouted those ideas because he didn't want people to think for themselves. Kim is Blue, you are spot on. I think there's more to it than that, but that's a great start. I think LRH was just super, super, super evil. And I have a hard time thinking about it because I was there and it makes me feel like I was a big part of it and it makes me feel so duped. But I have no doubt in my mind, I experienced extreme postpartum depression. I have no doubt. I did not get to see my son for the first 4 days that he was born. And so much Scientology auditing was being done on me from the hospital. They were doing what's called a pregnancy assist. And I was like, I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to drink. I just stared out the window. I was super depressed. Every day that went by without him, like I was just so in love with my child. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted him so bad. And then he was taken from me and put in the NICU. And as you guys know, his grandfather took over and like just bonded with him, and I didn't get to see him. And every moment, the longer I was separated from him, the less I bonded. And I was like, well, he obviously doesn't need me. And, I was next weekend, DNV, I was just a vessel, like it's just, he doesn't need me. I just really hit rock bottom as far as depression. Looking back, seeing that, I did not know that at the time. I would have never said I had depression. As a Scientologist, I would have never used that word ever. Yeah, I would have gotten in trouble for using that. If I would have said I feel depressed, I would have gotten in trouble for that's a psych term. That's what they call it. That's a psych word. They, instead of psychiatry, they just say psych, but like everything is like, don't talk to me about that psych shit. Like you could never say the word Prozac. You could never talk about depression or autism. Like they would laugh at you, right? It was a huge stigma. Um, Rafi and I are both on antidepressants. His mother had mental health problems. My maternal grandmother had bipolar. My cousin is also bipolar, and depression, mental illness is very common on that side of the family. And bravo. I can't think of anything better when people open up and are vulnerable and say that, because there's nothing wrong with it. It's the opposite to me. Again, it's like Linda said, you're proactive. You care about yourself, right? Like that's so impressive to me. It makes me want to be your friend. So, um, yeah, Buffy, women, yeah, absolutely. I think that should be probably more. I don't know. I don't watch the news and things like that, but I think it should be super, super accessible, normalized, and talked about way more. That I think there's so much pressure when you have a baby that, like, it's the best moment of your life and it's so exciting. And if you don't feel that way, there's something wrong with you. No. And I think that those things should be talked about a lot, right? That you may feel depression, you may feel this, and it's okay. And we can help you with that. Did they not take you there? I was at a recovery and wheeled up 6 hours later. So, Iwa, I had some kind of an issue with the spinal block and epidural. And I had to have a team. I had a doctor and his team come and they had to run some tests. It was a neurological doctor, like a neurologist. I was not able to walk. Like it wasn't wearing off the next day. Like it was like within, I was like 36 going on 48 hours and I still couldn't feel my legs. It was very weird and it wasn't wearing off. And so they had to do some tests and I'd have some scans. And so no, I was not wheeled, I was not taken, but in the same time I probably could have been, but they were also busy bringing in um auditors to audit me while I was laying there. So because that wasn't wearing off, they were doing like around the clock assists, Scientology assists on my body, and they were running all kinds of auditing processes on me. And I was so checked out. Just Joan, it's nice to see you. I was so checked out um doing those sessions. Again, the longer I was separated from him, the more it wasn't working. I was like, right, like they were like, look at this, do that, touch this. And I was like, yeah, uh-huh. I was so desensitized. Considering the life you've lived, Reese, it's amazing how honest, raw, and willing you share your feelings. Well, thank you, Archie's mom. That's a nice thing to say. I love it. It's my verbal journaling here. I get a lot of hate for it. It's a double-edged sword because it helps and it's nice to talk with people who are caring and want to hear this and have this discussion. But I have to keep in mind that there's a good handful of people watching right now hating on me for this discussion, and it's gross. And honestly, I think they're horrible, disgusting people for that. Um, yeah, Sylvia. So, and we have to keep in mind again that it can be hereditary. But something I want to, if it's still there, I want to discuss. Let me go see if I can find it. Ugh, this is really rough. Hey, Jeannie. Um, again, this is a touchy topic, but I started this conversation with a post I said that Lindsay put up. And I don't know how many of you follow the news or watch things. I really don't. I just learned about this about a week ago. I don't watch this stuff. Of course, Tommy does. Of course, Lindsay does. Um, this Lindsay Clancy woman, up until I'd say about a week ago, I didn't know who she was. Hey, Wine. I still don't know a lot of details because that's by choice. I don't really want to know. It's a very heartbreaking story, and It's a very, very touchy, very sensitive subject, very triggering, obviously, subject. And I respect that. And I'm not here to do a whole show on it. I want to discuss, though, it's is polarizing the right word? Like, it's really strange. I know this much because I've been told. There's like, it's almost become political, which is weird. It's always weird when a news story like this becomes like dividing and politically charged. That's odd to me. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? It's just my own thoughts. Um, and according to what I've been told, okay, again, this is very dividing, but there are groups of people out there that are blaming the father, the husband, for the deaths of these kids. And apparently, again, I'm not super educated on this, but apparently she has admitted to doing it. Like, she said she did it. Um, and it doesn't really. Here's what I liked about Lindsay's post. Do we need to highlight mental illness in this world, not country, in this world more? Yes, 100%. But what really hit me, Lindsay posted a picture of the youngest child, and it just made me cry this morning. And it's hard to look at these kids. They're beautiful kids, and all of us can certainly agree on one thing. And if you don't agree on this, you're probably a serial killer. But children are innocent. You know, whether you wanted kids or you don't have kids, like, nobody thinks like I hate kids, right? Like, kids are innocent, they're beautiful. Um, they are not to be damaged, right? Like, intentionally harmed. That should be a right to children. Same with animals. I feel that way. That's my own thoughts on that. Lindsay posted a picture of, hey, thought criminal, the baby, and his name is Callan, and he's just so cute. And it was hard to look at, but she posted something, and I'm not going to read the entire post, but she said he was 8 months old. Okay. And she wrote this, and it really hit me, and I thought, damn, that's insightful stuff there. Lindsay. Lindsay said he was 8 months old. He had no understanding of mental illness, no understanding of medications, no understanding of courtrooms, diagnoses, defenses, rallies, or pink shirts. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the pink shirt reference means. She said he was a baby. And before this case became a debate about Lindsay Clancy, it was the story of three children whose lives were taken. I did too, Kathy. So I thought that was a really honest way to look at that. There's so much, there seems to me anyway, there's so much divide between, she was mentally ill well, that's great to highlight that, but aren't all cases like this probably stemmed from mental illness? One, I just watched a case that I don't know, it's decades old, I think, at this point, but it was a boy named Paris who is now in prison, of course, but he stabbed to death his 4-year-old little sister. So, of course, that would be mental illness. I'm not trying to make an argument here, and I know that some of you don't agree with it, and some of you are hell bent on the father did it. I really don't care who thinks what. The point is what Lindsay said. Before it was any of that, these children's lives were taken from them, and that's horrific. But I don't doubt that the mother experienced extreme mental illness and whatever with her medications. I haven't dove. Hey, Anna Banana. Oh my God. Speaking of babies, her grandchild is so sweet. Lumen. Yeah, I just watched that. He's so beautiful. Um, and I'm not trying to go down this rabbit hole with you guys. I really don't want to, but I thought Lindsay's insight on that was extremely, um, very smart and just something I hadn't considered. I like the way she worded it, and it's true. Like before this gets political and ridiculous because it shouldn't. He was 8 months old. Um that Paris guy is a diagnosed sociopath. I would guess so. I was talking to Tommy about that. Like he's complete psychopath. Like that's what a lot of behavioral specialists have said about him. He's a complete psychopath. Like he feels nothing. And so there's that too. And that's, it, I mean, is psychopathy a mental illness? That I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. We could Google it. Um, yes, that's kind of what I was trying to get at, Barbara Waite. Mental illness can be the explanation for terrible actions, and it probably is mostly the explanation, right? Because let's put it this way, we've all heard this. Who in their right mind would do that? It has to be mental illness. Who in their right mind would do what that woman did? If she were in her right mind, she wouldn't have done that. Dude that kills his wife and then kills himself, he's not in his right mind, right? Yeah, that Perez Hilton guy. No, I'm talking about somebody else though, Buffy. A guy named Paris, not Perez. Um, but I agree with this so much. It doesn't make those actions excusable. So if you know someone is extremely depressed, why keep getting them pregnant? Do you think she should get off for what she did now? Um, Ewa, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, here's my thing about that though, Nancy, and you I don't know if you're implying this or not. Why keep getting them pregnant? So is it his fault that he got her pregnant? That's two adults having unprotected sex while she's ovulating. So she could have just as easily said, we need to use a condom. We need to have protection here. I don't want to get pregnant. I mean, that's what I did with Tommy for years, right? Like I took the steps to not get pregnant. So I don't know what you didn't say enough. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But to say, well, let me read your words because I don't want to put words in your mouth. If you know someone is, why keep getting them pregnant? Um, what? Yeah, I don't know about that. Why would she keep getting pregnant? I don't find myself being able to blame a man for getting a woman pregnant. She was a fully formed adult consenting to that sexual act, and both of them are aware that that can create a baby, right? I don't know. I mean, and you're free to think the way you think. I love you, Nance, but that's also her responsibility, right? To go, hey, I mean, it's all I can think of is with Tommy, right? Like Jeff had a vasectomy. I didn't have to worry about it. But with Tommy, I was like, hey, dude, I'm not having any more kids. So we got to, I mean, if I got pregnant because we didn't use protection, I wouldn't be like, Tommy, this is your fault. No, it isn't. Not at all. It's my fault for being aware of it. Hey, Abigail. I'm not going to speak a lot on mental illness because I'm in that category. I'm super angry because of side effects coming in at the moment. Interesting. Okay. Abigail, can I ask you something though? Because you said, because I'm in that category. Um, can I ask you, do you think that mental illness is something that should be normalized, Abigail? Like discussed like this in an open discussion? Do you think it's appropriate to talk about it? To talk about how it's okay and how a lot of us experience, bouts of mental illness or lifelong mental illness, or we're more predisposed to it. Um, she says, I think maybe he should have put a condom on. Maybe I'm not trying to be harsh. No one thinks you're trying to be harsh. Nobody thinks you're trying to be harsh here. I'm just trying to understand your words. Yes, he definitely probably should have put a condom on if they didn't want kids. The problem is I don't know the case enough. I don't know their marriage enough to say, like, what if Nancy, for instance, what if when they were having sex, they were actively trying to have kids? Like what if she was like, I'm ovulating, hurry, right? I don't know. I don't know if she's testified in court and said, I didn't want kids. I told him to wear a condom and he said he did, but he didn't. Like, I don't know. I don't know the answer to any of those things. But if that's your argument, I think there's a lot of people with mental health issues that have kids. You know, you can't run around being like, you shouldn't have kids. There's tons of women. They both wanted children and were happy to have them. Okay. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say, Nancy, like if she had mental health issues, she should have not had kids. I don't know enough to say that. But I do know that making a baby takes two people. And I just can't see myself blaming a man for a woman getting pregnant. She also was there, right? Okay, Lindsay. Abigail says absolutely the stigma around it is awful. Hey, Huxley. I'm gonna yell a little louder. Hold on, because the air is running and I don't think you can hear me. Thank you. The stigma around it's awful. The company I work for actively tries to normalize. Oh, I love that, Abigail. Also, you're right. I don't know enough about the case. I really don't. Well, no, I think you Hey, Raspberry Beret. I think you absolutely should. Nancy, you're always respectful and loving. I don't think there's a problem with what you said, and I think it's okay to join in on the conversation. I know less than you do. I promise. I don't know a lot about this. All I know is three beautiful, innocent children are no longer with us because she killed her kids, and I'm guessing it's because she had mental illness. Helen Baker says, I have three kids and I have mental illness. I just have a hard time with, and I don't want to know much about this case because I think a lot of us probably think what I'm thinking right now, which is how in this world could you harm your kids? How and you don't know. It's not a rational decision. It's insane, right? Like to try to break that down is not computing for me because hey, Ann Battles, because I can't, and most of us can't. As moms, dads, men, women, most of us can't imagine something like that. And clearly she wasn't in her right mind. But it is incredibly tragic. Um, I don't know what that means. B24 Riz. The majority of humans deal with mental illness at some point in their lives. Many struggle their entire lives. Yeah, Raymond, I agree with that very much. I'd ask you to speak about it, but I usually try to speak as nicely and objectively as possible on topics that are important to me, which is this. I can't do that. I understand, Abigail. Totally understand and respect that. The public is taking it too far. She admits to it, and they aren't looking for her to go free. They're defending against the prosecution's angle that it was premeditated and malicious intent. Even mild anxiety or trauma can be considered to be a mental health issue. So it's nonsense to me when people demonize it. It's just weird to demonize it. No, you're not, Nancy. Don't apologize. Don't do anything. You're just joining in on the conversation. You have just as much of a right to be here and have an opinion. I've been watching the trial from day one. I think the biggest takeaway, no matter my thoughts, women are failed under care too much. Yes, I mean, I also think men are too, Anita Card, but yes, I think women are at a greater risk because we do the carrying of the children, right? And we have to have the babies. And I think that there is that can be demonized right there, like having the postpartum thing. Hey, Dotsy Lynn. Okay, Debbie. If we are saying that she has mental problems, then we have to realize she had mental problems when she was having sex. I don't understand mental standing. Maybe her brain didn't process it. I mean, the fact of the matter is we can speculate all day, which is really all we do, all we can do. But women are extremely undeserved when it comes to healthcare. That's horrific. And I believe that, Kim. There's a big difference between being mentally ill and being in psychosis, experiencing command hallucinations. Okay, I'll take your word for that. Two things are true at the same time. She was ill and she killed her kids. Thought criminal, I agree. I am more of the mindset and I take more of the agreement what Lindsay has been saying from the little bit I've watched and what Tommy has been saying. And it's just they seem to be spouting the facts and I just think it's weird that it's gotten political. Hey Jamie, um yeah, Monk, he will be on tonight. He's spent the day with Spanx today and sent me some pictures and I'm really happy. They're really having a good time. This is difficult with the trial because most people don't have a great knowledge and understanding of mental health. I could see that. And again, I'm kind of done with not the topic of mental illness, but the topic of this case because I can't. That's why I'm kind of stuttering. I don't have enough facts of it to speak to it and be educated on this. I'm not. So I'm not going to like sit here and try to pretend I know things that I don't. Lindsay's obviously extremely well versed on it. I think Jamie Castro, no one else is saying that. Hey, JR. Oh, nice, Marlugo. That's really sweet. Um, I just think it's incredibly sad. The whole thing is sad. And am I wrong? I don't think she's trying to get out of it. She admitted it, but there's a difference in the punishment for it. I don't think she's trying to get out of it. Um, uh, Tommy told me that she completely admitted to it. She totally admitted to this. Like she's not trying to lie and say she didn't do it. She seems to have known she was unwell and she asked for help repeatedly. I'm brokenhearted for the babies, but I feel bad for her as well. Of course, the whole thing is sad, Tiffany Murfitt. The whole thing is sad. I agree with you on that. I'm going to have to go back later and catch what I missed, but it sounds heated. Marlugo, we're just still on the topic of just mental illness, and I wanted your guys' insight on it. Kim Gray says, I just wonder what people would say if she was a man and did this. Look up the Chris Benoit case about the pro wrestlers who killed his son and wife, then killed himself. Well, that, Kim, or I was thinking about the Chris Watts. I think that's his name. I know his last name is Watts. That guy killed his two children and he's an absolute nutcase. I mean, I watched some Netflix thing on him a couple years ago. That guy is completely uh okay, thanks Raymond. That guy is completely nuts and I don't think he feels any remorse from what I've seen for what he did. I mean, it kind of makes me think of like Scott Peterson. He seems pretty hollow, like he doesn't have any emotions about it. Um, yeah. Marlugo, me too. And the good news for me is it's kind of like politics. I can't speak to it anyway because I don't research it. I'm not educated on it. So I'm really not going to talk about the topic because I don't know enough of the details of the story. It's just very, very, very sad. Hey, Shadow Girl. Chris Watts, I don't think killed his wife, though. Did he kill his wife? See, that's how much I know. I thought he just killed his kids. He killed his wife, too? Holy shit. People are fucking crazy. That's scary. The victims, her three kids, have been lost in this entire case. I just want justice for their lives. They were babies. I thought criminal. I tend to agree with you on that. Hey, Critters Creations. I tend to agree with you on that. Thought criminal. I feel like the whole um the kids were kind of lost in this case. I feel like too from what I've seen. That's why I really 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 appreciated Lindsay's post because it put the focus back on the children, especially that little 8-month-old boy. He was just so sweet. That's what she made a post about. Yeah, Margie Barr. I guess I didn't really I thought he just killed his kids. He killed his wife too. Wow. So so this is what I was just kind of going to say too. So do I put her in the category of Chris Watts? No. Um I do not either. Even just with the little I know, I don't equate the two. But I have a question for you. Chris Watts, Peterson dude, Scott Peterson. Do they have mental illness? Is that mental illness? And again, I don't know that I put her in the category as Chris Watts, because I don't know if she had every, like, I don't know if that was her intention. Did she? Yeah, this is going to get become too dividing, and I don't want to piss people off. So anyone can now claim they heard a voice and get lesser punishment. Oh, that's terrible. I don't know if that's true or not. Often people are criticized for seeking help for mental health. We should be supportive. Susan T, that's the entirety of this stream, is what I was trying to say. Is it's like a stigma attached to it, and there shouldn't be. There absolutely shouldn't be. And that's what the conversation I was having with my son last night. Those men weren't. That's a good point. Anita Card says those men were not on a cocktail of drugs and hormone roller coaster. That's the difference. That's a great, great, great point, Anita Card. Yeah. I wish I could. Hey, Cindy G. I wish I could speak more on this. I realize there's everybody has an opinion and they're putting their thoughts in the comments. I can't. I'm not saying a lot because I really don't like to speak to things I don't know a lot about. I don't want to step into something because I don't know. Yeah, Peterson and Watts tried to hide their crimes. That's proof of knowledge of wrongdoing. Absolutely. Wow, Nancy. Hey, Melissa. Oh, Yadira, same. I agree. She says, I don't envy the jury. Oh my God, I can't imagine being a juror on that case. Why should people get pissed off when you are just hosting a conversation? They shouldn't. Just Joan, I don't think anybody's pissed off unless I missed a comment. I don't think anybody's pissed off, but it's not that they're mad. It's just this is a very heated topic. It's a very charged, very upsetting, very triggering topic. Yeah, and I agree with this, Lindsay. I think your sentiment about remembering the children is important. You know, it's kind of like Tommy did a stream, Rex Heuermann. I hopped on with him and he was talking about the guy, right? He's a serial killer that was just recently picked up and arrested. Um, I kept telling Tommy to keep showing the victims, the women. There was like 9 of them, and I had him kept putting it. I wanted him to keep showing the ladies and put it on the screen because to me, I was so sick of this asshole getting so much attention, right, for all the things he did that I was like, please show those women again. Please name them. Show their names, show who they are. Let's not forget them, right? Because it's starting to become a circus, and I feel like that's kind of what this is, which it's inevitable. Of course, that's going to happen, right? Everybody's glued to this case, but please don't forget what's important. And those 3 children to me are what's important. The victims of someone who anybody, the kids are the victims, right? Hey, Tito, same thing. The women who were killed. I do too. Barbara Waite says, I think we're having a great, thoughtful conversation. I do too. I feel like the dum dum though in this because I don't know enough about this to speak too much to it. And I realize I'm repeating myself saying that. Me too, Cindy G. That's one of the reasons I'm not very educated on it. It's by choice. I can't get too involved in the case Tommy is covering right now is Eugene Horsch, and the many many women that he killed. The guy, when they found him, had a cattle prod in his trunk, and like chains and cuffs and that kind of thing. My mind checks out. I can't talk about it. I don't want to know anything further than that. I even made the mistake to Tommy. I go, why did he have a cattle prod in his trunk? And he goes, do you really want to hear this? And I was like, um and he was like, so that he could, and I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know that. It's not like I can't go there in my mind. That is some demonic, like of another dimension shit to me, right? Like harming people children like that, I can't. I check out. I don't want to know. Um, yeah, Buffy, I definitely intend to do a stream on the lifeboat with him about just some true crime stuff. Sometimes I like to do streams with Tommy. And I know I look dumb sitting there, and I think a lot of the lifeboat people are like, "Why is she here?" Whenever I do those streams with him, and I sit there and ask my questions, there's so many people that pop in, and they're like, can you get the stupid girl off the street, off the screen?" Like, I don't bring a lot to the table, but I like to listen to what he says and then ask my questions. And some people enjoy it, and some people are like, "Get her out of here." Um, if you watch the trial and not all the internet banter, it has remained about the children, also about Patrick and Lindsay. My heart breaks for all of them. Yeah, yeah, Debbie, it's that's why I stay off internet stuff, because it does become stupid and political, and again, it just divides people, and people start going low and name calling, and it goes to like who you voted for. And it's like, nah, I don't, that's so stupid to me. It's really dumb. To me, that's the entire Reddit cesspool. It's like, we believe everything we hear. We don't check into anything for ourselves. We're not critical thinkers. You say Reese is a grifting scam artist. We believe you. Like, they're just a marching band of idiots, just a carnival of idiots. Maybe we discussed the broader mental health topic instead of a specific case. Well, that's what we started with. Kim is blue. Um, don't underestimate your happy-go-lucky self for stupidity. Thank you, Pillow Sham. And that's what I'm trying to wrap it back up with, circle it back to, is just, I can't talk anymore about this Lindsay Clancy case because I got nothing else to say. I can't fill any time with it. I don't know what to say because I don't have enough of the details. But I think that the topic is not discussed enough. And I don't know how many of you were in here earlier when I said this. I had a long discussion last night with my son, like a couple hours. It was a deep discussion. It was really good. And part of that, a very small sliver of that, was mental health. And I was explaining that his father has a mental illness, and we don't shame for that. And we understand, and we make room for him because of that. Um, okay, Susan. And thank you, Yadira. And I brought that up today. I love you, Nancy, and thank you. I hope that you felt proud and okay with speaking up, because I'm glad you did. You're just as much a part of this family as anybody else. Thank you for your super chat. And the point is, I said on the phone today to my mother that we had this conversation. And I talked about how he could be predisposed to mental illness as well, right? Like, it could happen. It's something that we watch for. It's something that we talk about and we highlight. And I think you should talk about that in an age appropriate way with kids. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's imperative, right, that you do that. And I've never had that discussion with my mother until today. And my mother's reaction was literally this. She was like, "What? You told him he could be mentally ill?" And it was like this, like, it's this hush hush, old school, right? Like, discussion, like, to her, right? She's my mom, I'm his mom. To her, that was just like over the line, inappropriate, shouldn't be talked about. Like, it was just like this, like, insane. Like, it was insane to her that I would have that discussion. And I said, "Of course I did." And she was like, "Why would you do that?" And I said, "Because it's real life. Like, those are real life topics that someone should be prepared for. It's not like he has a class on it that's going to teach him and prepare him for it, right?" And I don't want it, Melissa, exactly to be a stigma. Like, clearly to my mother, it's a stigma, right? I mean, just the reaction alone was like, I was shamed for even bringing it up. She was basically like how my Reddit people are, right? Like, "You're the worst mom." Like, now my mom didn't say that, and I'm not putting my mom on blast here. The only thing I'll say is my mom is old school. She's 72 years old. 71, one or the other. And she's old school. And I will say this, her mom, my grandmother, was very fucking old school too. Like, you don't talk about your problems. You don't open, like, what my mom thinks what I do here for a living, she thinks is absolutely nuts. She will tell, she doesn't watch me, but she will tell you, she will tell me, she'll tell people, I can't believe people watch Reese. I can't believe that's what she does for a living. Like, I can't, like, she can't wrap her mind around it that we talk about pap smears and mental health and everything in between. She cannot, because my mother is very private. She's very closed up like her mom, and none of that shit's been normalized for her. And I know that she's not the only one. That is an older generational thing where they're just kind of like, I told you in the beginning of this, they don't discuss real life problems, and they definitely are of that mindset like, well, one of my mom's biggest things that she's said throughout my whole life, if I give her an issue, and this doesn't make her good or bad, this is just where she's at. Remember, you meet people where they're at. This is not me shaming my mom, but if I don't give her my problems because she will do this, let it go. Let it go. Move on. I can't handle that kind of reaction. And I've learned that over time and through therapy. Like, I don't get triggered by it. I don't flip out. Like, but that is not a response I accept. That is not, um, love you too, Cheap Chick. That is not something that I would ever, ever, ever say to my son or anybody, any of my friends. I do not use let it go as a solution to anything because it's not teaching them anything. It's not setting an example, and it's hurtful. It's dismissive. Like, imagine saying that. And I've said this to my mom before. I go, "Don't you think I would if I could? Like, don't you think if that was like a viable actual react like um solution to something that I would do it?" Yeah, Millie Grace. Like, again, this isn't me like saying I have a bad mother. I don't think I have a bad mother at all. Like, it's quite the opposite. It's just that's who she is. It's her generation. It's how she was raised. That doesn't make anybody bad. That's just her upbringing, and that's how she deals with things in life. That is not how I deal with things. My mother and I could not be any more different. And my sister and I are the same as far as different. We're complete. You would never know we were siblings, completely different human beings and personalities. And that's because um no buff not that I know of. I wasn't raised with my sister, and I wasn't raised with my mother. I was raised mostly alone, but sometimes my dad would check in. So I am very, very different than my sister and my mom. And that's okay, but we all deal with things very differently. And I would say if I had to make a choice here, my sister is a lot more like my mom. Very private, very closed up. Probably doesn't like, I will tell you that when I am around the two of them, you can fucking tell hardcore that I don't fit in. I do not fit in. Hey, David Moreno, I don't fit in that triangle of women because I usually will say something and the two of them will look at me and be like, I can't believe you just said that. Now, I come here and you guys accept me for who and what I am. So I can drop something on you and all of you are like, ah, some of you are like, holy shit. But most of you are like, yeah, that's Reese. That's I'm open to talking about anything. There's very rarely has anyone ever said, will you answer this? You don't have to answer this. Or if this is uncomfortable for you, you're not going to find much that I'm uncomfortable talking about. Hey, truth seeker, it's not for shock value and it's not to push your boundaries. It's just I was raised with zero boundaries. I had a sexual security check at the age of 6. Hey, Mama T, when I was in Scientology. I've been talking about sex and inappropriate things since the age of 6. Like with a spotlight on me going, do you think of inappropriate things about your father? Do you have inappropriate thoughts about animals? Are you inappropriate with your sibling? Like, Scientology rips that out of you, and you're not allowed to go, my pearls, right? You're not allowed to go, oh, that's inappropriate. Every single thing has been on the table for me since I was a child. So it's all been normalized. And that's good and bad. I think that's brought a lot of benefits to my life because I have countless at this point in my life people come to me and go, I just feel safe with you. Can I share this with you? I have had so many people, some strangers come to me and go, I don't know why, but like you're really easy to talk to and I'd like to share this with you. I don't, that could have something to do with it because Tommy said that to me when I first met him. He goes, everybody judges you when you're an ex-con. Like most people give you a look when you go, yeah, I did 13 years federal time. I was a criminal. I robbed banks. Most people immediately judge. And he was like, you did not. Hey, Caroline in Canada and Big J. He said, you did not. And I literally was like, yeah, so I like you. You know, it was the same thing when I met him in person. He was ashamed because he's got track marks, he's got scars everywhere. Tommy has track marks on his legs, he has track marks all up and down his arms. And I told you guys this, but I thought he was a welder. Like in prison, I thought he had like burn marks from welding shit. And he was like, no, those are my track marks from doing drugs. And I was like, oh, I was like, does it hurt? Like, he was very much like, you didn't never judged me. You never like put a stigma on it. You never were like, ugh, right? So it's like what happened with my mom today. When I said we talked about the mental illness thing, she was like, you what? Like it was as if my child should have been taken away from me. I disagree with that. Doesn't make her good or bad. It just means that she's in a totally different place. He is Millie Grace, and thank you for coming over here. I just place people and shelve people where they're at. So like I'm not mad at my mom. I hope no one takes it that way. I'm not mad at my mother at all for that conversation because one, I would kind of expect it, but two, I don't place expectations on her. So when she acts that way or she's just astounded that I would do that, I remained calm. You know, she wasn't as calm. She was like, "You what?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I said mental illness is completely okay to talk about and it's okay to be diagnosed with and it's totally normal." And I said, "Mom, almost everybody is mentally ill in some way at some point in their life, sometimes their whole life." And again, not a doctor, but I see that. I meet a lot of people and I meet a lot of people who like to share their traumas with me. You don't think that causes some kind of illness mentally? It can be very mild, but like it could cause, right. How many of you say to me a lot, like, Reese, that's a trauma response? Like when I tell you something, a lot of you will be like, that's a trauma response. That can fall into the category of some kind of a mental unwellness. That's okay. I would never, I mean, that's like saying people are perfect. Everybody is falling under the category, is under the umbrella of some kind of mental illness, in my opinion. Could be incredibly mild. And I know a lot of people right now are going, I'm not mentally ill. I'm not like, it's okay. Maybe you've had dark thoughts. Maybe you experienced something really horrible as a child. Maybe you witnessed something. Maybe you were abused. And we don't need to go down, right? But it's like, to me, mental illness is such a general, okay thing. It's okay. Yeah, Barbara Waite. Thank you, Pat Jonas. And Alana, again? Wow. Your mom's response is that of a person who is uncomfortable sitting with her feelings. Yes, for sure. Or talking about them. Instead, they dismiss and fester in private. Some people are like that. Not for me. Yes. Yes. Um, Thank you so much, Bree Bree. And thank you, Raymond. Hey, Love and Life. There you go. Love and Life. So her mom was similar, and I'm sorry you lost your mother. It's not like Love and Life said, I'm closer to your mom's age than Reese. So that's what I'm saying. It's not like everyone my mom's age is going to be like that. But for sure, fanciest face. But I do think that older generation was trained and kind of the mindset that, like, oh, we don't talk about that. Even depression, right? Or like postpartum depression. I have seen it. I've seen that in the older generation. I've seen it in my mom a lot, right? Like How many times, and Alana, thank you again for your super chat. It's so nice of you, babe. I can't tell you how many times I've been in public or I've been with my mom and my sister, and I will say something just like I always do. I'm not any different off camera than I am here, but I will say something like, "Oh yeah, like I went through that too. I had like a deep depression," or "Oh man, when I had my last pap," like if I say something like that, every time, it happens all the time, my mom will go, "Reese!" I mean, that's been since I met up with my mother when I was 18. She's been doing that since I was 18. Anywhere I go in public with her, and I'm like, um, anything. I might say something really goofy and like off color, where I'm like, oh God, yeah, it's so hot. Me too. I have swamp ass. Whatever. Who cares? But if it's that, or if it's like talking about mental illness or something real, my mother will constantly go, Reese. And it's like, it's this like, we're just not the same. And that's okay. Like, we're just not the same. We are not anywhere close to, like, everything is this, right? Everything is like, we don't put our problems out there for the world to hear. We don't, it's shameful, right? Yeah. Fancy space. I was thinking that, like, if I said I did drugs when I was 16, she might be like, like, I can't believe you just admitted to that in front of total strangers. Like, it's okay. My mom is not the only person like that. There's tons of people. It's a generation. Yes. However, I am a mother and I mother very, very differently than my mother. Hey, Franklin, I am extreme opposite of that. How does your mom deal with real life stuff? Does she bottle everything up? Probably, Brie Brie. Yeah. I've talked to her about seeking therapy and she's like, no. Like, again, that generation just doesn't open up. It's hard to get my mom to open up, and that's okay. I don't pry, I don't try. If she wants me to know something, she'll share that. But that's something that she's going to have to deal with at some point. But what was I just going to say? Oh, I am very different as a mom. Now, I only have one child, but yeah, Heather. However, I have said this and I said it at the beginning of this stream, which is I have been talking with my son, hey Brock, about age appropriate um conversations that are borderline adult but age appropriate, right? Real life things that I would prefer know about and come to me about or ask questions about than it hit him in the face and he doesn't know anything and he's like my goal is that like he runs into something in life and goes, "Oh yeah, no, I've talked to my mom about that." Like I never want him to be like, "What? I didn't know." Like I want him to be a little bit like the duckling that's kind of getting his feet wet and know some things. No, Stanley. Hey, babe. Looking kind of tan there, pumpkin. Well, you're going to be going live in about 40 minutes, right? 45. I will hop over and say hi to you. Love you, bunny. Um, Again, guys, this is not me attacking. Please don't hear what I didn't say, unless you're a hater, of course, and you're going to go type up whatever you say and no one cares. But this is not me attacking my mom. I'm using this as an example. I'm very, very, very different. I want him to be prepared for heavy life stuff, but in the best way I know how, which is to talk about and open up about. Speaking of Tommy, I just told him yesterday, this is why I think you need to get a therapist. Like he had a therapist in America and okay. Okay, babe, I will see you there. He had a therapist in America and he just loved his therapist and I think everyone I know who's in therapy loves therapy and Tommy was no different. And I think he should find one in Ecuador and he's like, I had years and years and years of therapy and I'm like, it's exactly what I said to Huxley or what I would say to anybody else. It's just helpful. It's not like you have a problem. It's not even like he does have a problem. I just think it's like a maintenance type of thing. Like I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to open up. Here's the thing, I've said this before. Therapy is just simply You cannot lean into your spouse for every I'm not going to be Tommy's therapist. I can't be, not on everything, right? And I shouldn't be, and he shouldn't be mine. And I'm not going to be my close friend's therapist, right? Like, again, I can help with some things, but it's not fair to dump on your parent or your spouse or your kid or whatever it is. Therapists are simply trained professionals with a toolbox. That's how I've always thought of it. I didn't get that from anyone. I thought of that years ago. You go through life trying to fix shit with a hammer. And a therapist comes on and goes, "No wonder you haven't been able to fix that. You're using the wrong tool. Give me the hammer. Here, take this screwdriver. That's what you needed." That's all therapy is to me. I'm like, "Oh my God, it worked." And they're like, "Of course it worked." Right? That's what therapy is. It's just what fanciest face. It's maintenance. Like for me, I've been in therapy long enough, and Tommy was doing therapy way before me. But I've been in it long enough that now I have a lot of those tools where I can just on command, when I have an issue, I'm like, "Oh my God, okay, I'm using a hammer." No wonder. Like because I've been going through it enough. But I believe if you can afford it, if you can figure it out, I love therapy. I absolutely am so grateful for it. And I think a lot of it has saved me. It's again, it's not a stigma. To say like I'm in therapy, I'm like, woo, like, yes, I love that. Good for you. You put yourself first, right? You didn't set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. You chose you first. And I'm sorry, but if you are in therapy, that's you putting on fanciest face, your damn oxygen mask, right? I'm able to be a better, more stable human, mother, friend, wife. I'm much better. Me too, Heather Huckleberry. As a human, I'm way more calm and stable, I believe, because of the therapy. I am so grateful to my therapist. I am so grateful that I can afford my therapist. I always thank God for my therapist. And it's not like there's life changing, life saving shit going on in these sessions, but it's just enough that, like, by the end, I always go, "I never looked at it that way. I got a new tool. Thank you." Right? It's just helpful. It's just a little boost. Thank you for this chat, Reese. I'm really big on mental health. I'm listening in the background. Didn't know that. And I know you pretty well, Mar, and I didn't know that. And I love you even more now that I know that. I am very, very, very big advocate for mental health as well. As a matter of fact, thank you for your super chat. Thank you, Kathy Brown. Um, I not really recently, but a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago, I really, really, really was kind of wanting to start my own foundation. And I was like, I'm not gonna do what Aaron did and have a spite foundation, right? Where I don't really help people, but I just want to be competitive. Um, and it would not be a foundation to help people out of Scientology. We don't need three of those. Um, yeah, Pillow Sham, but I mean, I'm very grateful to the Aftermath Foundation for the work they do. They're actually trying to help people get out, but we don't need more than one. Quite honestly, I don't feel like they're coming out. It's not opening the floodgates. People don't need foundation after foundation. Maybe, hopefully, one day they will, but right now we don't need that. And so I thought I would love to have a foundation that just kind of works toward supporting. For me, it would be mental health. And I really thought long and hard about this. And then I just ended up not doing it because I was like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how. And I don't know who to help me do it. But I really thought it was when I was going through all the jester stuff and like the women who were abused in that cult and who could probably use some mental health, right? Help. Also, it would definitely be any Scientologist coming out. I would be happy to help, but it just wouldn't be geared at that. It would just be kind of like a domestic abuse type situation for all kids. I thought I would love. My whole like thought process on this was I want a foundation where I have like a whole panel of therapists that like I could get to work at we figure out a dollar amount and we raise enough money that we can get people who can't afford therapy, of course, right? And kids who've been through super traumatic events or women or men coming out of some horrible situation. I thought, God, therapy has helped me so much. I believe in it so much that I would love to have some kind of a foundation where I could get place you with a therapist and help you get you on your feet and get the tools that you need after whatever just happened to you, right? And so I don't know why I brought that up. I'm going to take a drink. I mean, it's neither here nor there, but I just really, really like the idea of I know how I felt getting a therapist. And hey, Mrs. Carson. Wow. Mrs. Carson, because I thought yesterday's show sucked. That really matters to me. Been lurking, but I had to let you know that your show yesterday and today gave me so much to think about. Yesterday, setting boundaries and mental health today. Good Lord, you're the only person that liked it. Thank you for reaching out. And it's nice to see you. Thank you, Pat Jonas. Heather Huckleberry, exactly. And so I know how invigorated and how much life I got back. Like, I feel like I don't find myself attractive at all. Okay. I really, truly, I don't. But I do look back at the first day I streamed versus today, and I see a big difference, a big change in my face, my coloring. I feel like I'm brighter looking. I think that I just look more not attractive, but like it's changed for the better. I attribute that to my channel, which to me is like therapy, and my therapist. And so I thought, God, I really would love to give that gift to somebody else. I wish that I could. Thank you, Millie Grace. Um, thank you, Love and Life. I wish that I could get people therapy, the help that they need. I'm not saying like let's, get you on drugs or anything like that, but if you needed that, let's go that route. Like I wish that I could have some kind of ability to help people more in that field. It would mean a lot to me to be able to have a foundation someday, and maybe someday I'll do that where I can really, really focus on mental health because it's incredibly important to me. Thank you, Carolyn Peters. Hey, Kim is Blue. Thank you. Yeah, Puka Vista for sure. I was very unhappy and I was afraid, right? Like I think fear also will take a toll on your looks and your mental health and your physical health. And I was trapped and now I feel free. And so I'm sure that I look different for those reasons. Um, but yeah, I really, really was like, thanks, Nancy. I was really hell bent on that for a while. I was like looking into it and I was trying to decide like who would I have on a board. And I just really, really would thank you, Barbara Way. I would really love someday, and maybe I'll revisit it, but I would love someday to have a foundation that focuses solely on getting kids, right? Like removing the stigma there, but getting kids, women, men, seniors, pregnant women, anybody who needs that mental health boost and assistance, that we can get that for you, right? For people who say I can't afford it. Like I've been there, I understand. It's very, very hard for me because I have my son in it now. So it's hard for me to afford both, but I have to. I have to make that a priority for me and for him. It's very, very important to me. Love you, Just Joan. What yeah, that's a great point. Why is mental health not taught in schools? Kathy Brown, you are so beautiful. It's not just physical, it's your whole aura. Thank you. I hope someday you're able to see that. Kathy Brown, thank you. I'm working on it. That's something I work on in therapy is Jeff always used to tell me I can't remember. Hey Mad Drop. Hey old Charlie. Wow, two Australian men coming in at the same time. That's wild. Um Body dysmorphia. Jeff always told me I have body dysmorphia. He was like, "Well, you're mentally ill. You have body dysmorphia because I don't find myself attractive. I don't think I'm a very pretty person or woman. And I think that I am like extremely overweight. I look at myself in the mirror and I think, oh my God, like who would want me? Who would be interested in me? Can't believe Tommy is attracted to me because I'm so fat. Like that's what I see when I look in the mirror. And I just don't have a very high view of myself, I guess. Good to see you too, Lisa. I think because it's such a touchy subject, but they do teach a bit once it's in high school, I think. Okay, Mar. It is a touchy subject, but so is everything. And it needs to be brought up to younger people because something is gonna hit them. Like my thing is like teaching coping mechanisms and healthy, like again, handing over those healthy tools. Where should that start? Thank you, Brand's mom. Where should that start? At a young age. We should be normalizing that at a very young age. I think that should start when kids are kids, like at an appropriate age, appropriate time. But I really believe that that's where it starts in life. And nobody, and I mean nobody, should be walking around thinking, reaching for a doctor or mental health or any of that is a stigma, is a problem. It makes you stand out. You're the black sheep, blah blah blah. Like, no, none of that's true. And it's healthy. If you get sick, you go to the fucking doctor. It's the same thing. If you have something that you need help with and you're having dark thoughts or you're depressed or any of those things, why, oh, why wouldn't you go? I got to go to the doctor. I got to make an appointment. I got to get this checked out. I got to talk to somebody about this. I'm having these feelings. I can't work them out. It feels dark or whatever it is, right? I'm struggling with my husband or whatever it is. Like, why wouldn't you also go to the doctor for that? I know. That's funny, Mrs. Carson. Thank you. Thank you, Monk. Hey, Allie. Yeah, Allie, I agree. A lot of us have that problem. I'm working on that too, trying to feel sexy at 49 and feel pretty, a work in progress. Well, you're doing amazing. Alana, you are rocking it, girl. She sends me pictures of her outfits and things, and she's absolutely stunning. I love your hair. I love everything about you. I find you incredibly attractive. Advertisers want us to feel insecure and not like how they are. Yeah, you make a good point there too, Love and Life. It's like commercials, of like, not, I haven't seen one in a long time, but like a Zoloft commercial or something like that. It's like they kind of make it look like it's, they show the person walking around with the dark cloud over their head, like it's a problem. I'm sorry, that's everyday life for some people, and we got to normalize that and get them out of that and help them. I like that, Debbie. My twins, Mars says, my twins' school offers different help, but they first have to get permission from the parents. And guardians, it's offered separately to not cause harm or bullying to the child. Well, I like that. I mean, it's a start. It should be in school. There should be, honestly, see, this is where I would love to teach this in school. And that's saying a lot for me because I would never want to be a teacher. And God bless all of them. Thank you for what you do. But I would love to teach a class to kids about, maybe like high school kids about like mental health and reaching out when you need it and the toolbox thing and just that like all of this is normal. It's no different than going to get your bones checked at the doctor. Thanks, old Charlie. People seem to like me with the mic, so I'll just go for it. I've had it forever. I just don't use it. Mar, I love that. And thank you again for the super chat. Hey, Jet Sent. Another part of the body is hurting. We see the doctor, except the brain. Fix the stigma. Yes. Yes. And I think most of us are on board with this. Let's be real. Most of us in this chat are like, yes. It's the certain ones. It was my mom today going, "You what?" And I was like, yeah, it's okay, right? Like and it's also okay to say this. You parent very differently than I parent. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I don't close up and say to Huxley, like, well, we don't talk about that. We don't, you don't bring that to me. That's private. I don't want to hear about like, no, I want to know everything. And I want you to know you're safe and secure and it's okay to talk about this stuff. Like you should talk about anything you want to. I told him that last night. You should say any because he said something like, I don't know how to voice this. I don't know how to word this. He was kind of prefacing his sentences with that. And I said, Well, you just let it roll, son. You say whatever you want to say. You be comfortable in your words and you take your time saying them and no rush, right? Like whatever is on your mind. But people should be comfortable to do that. Yeah, Lumen, that's a great point too. Yeah, Kim is blue, but it's a did you know your blood sugars can affect your mental health too? Oh god, yes. Oh, holy shit, yes. Yeah, when my sugars are high, I don't just get physical effects like headaches or dizzy. I absolutely can be more reactive, and I'm not a reactive person, but I can be very reactive when my blood sugars are out of whack, for sure. Yeah. Feelings and emotions are normal, Melissa, and I'm just learning that too. It's like we're kind of learning it together, right? Because coming from Scientology, no HE and R, human emotion and reaction. That's what I was raised on, that sentence. My father would scream that sentence. Hux, can you close that? Thanks. I didn't know it was open. That air conditioner is so loud. No HE and R. So I was raised on that. No human emotion and reaction. Thank you, Don Puka Vista. I hope you mean that in a good way. And your thyroid stress. And I talked to Hux about this last night, Marlugo. I said, you realize um, a lot of illnesses can stem from holding in thoughts and emotions. And he said, really? And I said, yeah, I've seen reels from doctors about that. Like you can get, it's called stress, right? And if you hold everything in and you bottle everything up, oh good. Thank you, Puka Vista. That means a lot. If you bottle things up and you don't talk about it to somebody, it doesn't have to be me, right? But if you don't talk to somebody about it, you can stress yourself out to the point where you do get physical ailments from that. You can get illnesses from that. So it all makes sense to me. It's like none of this doesn't make sense. I don't look at normalizing this and go, well, here's why we shouldn't. Here's all the bullet points on why we shouldn't. No, everything's a green light. It's all a go, in my opinion. Like settling and working out your mental wellness helps the rest of you, your body, your environment, how you treat others, how you live your life. I mean, how look at our haters. In all seriousness, I'm not even making fun of them. Take a good look at some of those guys, right? Like you can tell shit's building up. They're hateful. That's also to me a mental illness. If you have to spend hours a day hating on somebody you don't even know, right? Like I mean, don't even get me started on being like a total racist too, right? Like hating black people. That's to me very mentally unwell. Like the hating in general is to me, hey Cherokee Joy, a mental fucking instability, right? And there's nothing wrong with it, but I wish they would get some help. It's not normal, and I don't think it's healthy, right? And again, I'm not sure you're no local friendly doctor here, but I don't think it's healthy to take to the internet to bully strangers and spend your days doing it, trying to make money off of it, uh, lying about people, spreading all kinds of horrific rumors, laughing at them, making fun of a minor, right? Going after kids. All of that is like clearly you've got some mental illness there that you should deal with rather than perpetuating it and making hateful videos about people and telling lies. It eventually probably will make you sick, I would think. But that's why we do that here. I mean, I can't imagine day after day either writing in forums like Reddit about bullshit that you know nothing about, but you just speak to like you're an expert on, right? Or like some of our haters making daily videos again about nothing, you don't know anything about that. That guy has never met me before and yet he knows everything about me and Huxley and can speak right to it. That's fucking unstable. It's scary. It's concerning on a lot of levels. I would say that that's something you should get checked out. So, yeah, Shelly, that's a great point. And I just think seeking actual help is really, really necessary and a good thing. And you should be proud of yourself. That's called self care, right? That's called self care. You should be proud of yourself. You should not be ashamed in any way, whether you're a child or a grown adult, like to seek help and get treatment. And if that's in the form of staying in a hospital or getting medication or just sessions with a therapist or group therapy, right? I think that's all a really, really good thing. And you should be proud of yourself. That's a gift. It's a gift. They have to be harboring something within themselves to have such hate. Why would you hate someone you don't know or the color of their skin? It's insane. Did I just put that up? I'm so sorry. I clicked something and it made that go up. How stupid. I'm sorry. Whatever that weird commercial is for StreamYard. Uh, I agree so much with that, Marlugo. I mean, again, that's just not something I can comprehend. Being a racist, right? Hating a group of people for their skin color, hating people because of their sexual preferences is just, again, that's to me, you're the unstable one. That's unstable. If any of us are feeling a certain type of way, we should see a medical professional. And then again, that's a beautiful thing. That's a good thing. It should be celebrated. Even when anger is justified, it's bad for your health to let it fester and drag on and on. Yeah, Barbara Waite, anger to me is really, really, really bad for your health. Very closed minded thinking. Yeah, Haggis, the worst. It's like it doesn't get worse than that. But that's why I really hope the best for people like Aaron, hot headed people. Uh, CS Tom, welcome in. Hot headed people, and I'm using him as an example because we all know who he is. Most of us do. Um, Thank you, Pillow Sham. Most of us do. He's a hothead. He's angry. I mean, he's trying to pretend he's going through one of those things right now where like he's all about the cause and hey, I'm really making things the world a better place. I don't believe that because we see the pattern and it changes. But best of luck to him, and I hope that he does. But I see people like that who are raging hotheads, right? And they get all sweaty and red, and it's like that's not good. That is coming to the surface for a reason. You should do something about that. That's something that can be helped, right? I wish that he would seek help. I really wish that he would. And anybody who's having problems with not being able to control themselves, that's a problem. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it if you can seek treatment. I think that would be ideal. And again, maybe I'll look into that someday for doing some kind of a foundation. I would love, love, love to start a foundation that helps people to get that treatment that they need. I think it's really important. I would love to help do that. So, guys, please, while you're in here, hit subscribe. I always ask you to do that. Hey, Rome, welcome back. I always ask you to do that. You do get P. Taylor, I think. Was it P. Taylor yesterday? Somebody got unsubscribed. It's been here forever. And someone else left me a message that they were unsubscribed. Mama something, Nana's Ranch. She was unsubscribed. So please look at wherever you're looking and check to make sure that you are. I really appreciate it. Hey, Case Face. Thank you, babe. Please check to make sure you're subscribed. And I want to say thank you for listening to this conversation. I know that this is a touchy topic, but I don't want it to be. I like talking about this kind of stuff. I like talking about real life things and I understand it's not for everyone, but I really enjoy talking about pap smears, mammograms, sex, mental wellness. I think these things should be touched on. And if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I understand. Don't worry, I won't do it every day. But I appreciate you listening to me and hearing me because I am here to learn, not to teach. I am not better than anyone. Okay, Monk, I'll see you there. I am here to truly learn from you guys and about the world and just from reaching for information, but I am not here to preach or teach. I don't know enough to do that. I'm not here to do that. But thank you for listening and walking through this with me and teaching me some things tonight. I appreciate it. Abigail says, closing, do not judge others and you will not be judged. For you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging is the standard by which you will be judged. Ooh, I love that. New Testament. Thank you, Abigail. I like that last sentence the most. Thank you for being here, Abigail, and I appreciate your input in this tonight. And thank you for the super chat. Mars says, don't be a hater. It can cause you diarrhea. That is probably true. That's probably why that one dude is so pissed all the time and racist. He's probably just got the screaming, wailing skitters. He just got mud all day. Who knows? I have no idea. Thank you so much. It's probably why he keeps changing his appearance. He's just like shitting himself all the time. Mar, I love you and thank you for making the time. I know you're a busy girl and I'm always honored when you come in here. Um, Puka Vista, that means a lot. I always like your streams, Reese, but tonight I especially liked it. Thank you for being so supportive. I love you, Puka Vista. Thank you for saying that. Love you, Donna Cooper. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the super chats tonight. I always appreciate that. I want you to know that. Thank you. It helps me and Hux. Thank you to Carolyn Peters for sending bones from the wish list and supporting the animals. Thank you for being members. Most importantly, thank you for your time. I really mean that. That's okay, Abigail. It's my love language, and quality time means everything. To have a couple hundred people just sitting here listening and having a conversation with me means the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your time and spending it with me. Alana, I love you too, and you had great input tonight. Thanks for being so open and vulnerable, all of you. Alana, I appreciate your super chats tonight. You too, Mar. I love you, Mar, and you're just a really wise person. I love hearing from you. All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to see if I can get Lara FM for tomorrow. If not, it'll just be me, and that's okay too. I love you all. Mods, thank you for protecting us, and I will see everyone tomorrow. Here comes Fred, everybody. I'll see you guys on the boat if you go over there.